YouTube, it's good to be back. I left you guys with the best FIFA gameplay you have ever seen. Still is to this day. Tell me I'm lying. And I come back to you with the best football knowledge that you will see. Over the past years, I have been honing my skills to reach the level that I'm currently at. I have put an ungodly amount of hours into the sport. I am obsessed with this. For those who watch my streams, you will understand. I watch more football matches in one day than most of you will watch in a month. And as a result, it's earned me the nickname, the spoiler, a nickname given to me by the footballing world, a nickname which I very much cherish and acknowledge its responsibilities. You see, I don't just predict football matches, I spoil them. We start at the Emirates. Arsenal versus Fulham. Fulham have been one of Arsenal's bogey teams over the past few years. Just 2 out of 6 wins for Arsenal. Last 2 games at the Emirates, both finished as a draw. Yes, Fulham got slaughtered against Palace in the FA Cup. However, this is a team that have always looked more dangerous away from home. The big talking point, Saka's potential return. He may get some minutes, and my oh my do Arsenal's attack need him. I look at that attack, I don't see enough. The good news for Arsenal is Odegaard looked sensational in the international break. Can he reach the levels he's reached before? Speaking about players that have looked good in the international break, however, Raúl Jiménez for Mexico. I think both teams to score is a lock. I don't see Arsenal winning this game. They have 3 former players, Fulham, former Arsenal players, looking to cause damage in Willian, Emil Smith-Rowe and Iwobi. I think this has got 1-1 written all over it. Forest versus Manchester United next. Manchester United have looked much better in the last couple of games than they have looked prior. It looks like finally things are starting to gel for Ruben Amorim, as I call him. However, away Forest is of course a whole different level to the game against Leicester. Forest themselves are missing Chris Wood, which is a big loss. They played 120 minutes on the weekend. United missing a couple of defenders. Heaven won't be able to play. I don't think Euro will either. It's going to be a very cagey game. Both teams, in my opinion, are better when they don't have the ball. And it's going to be one of those where both will be looking to try and counter each other, which in my opinion will result in a complete stalemate. This one won't even have a single goal. Forest 0, Manchester United 0. To the Etihad, we go next. City versus Leicester. Listen, not much to go through here. Ruud van Nistelrooy may genuinely be the worst manager in the entire history of the Premier League. Frank de Boer, you may have competition actually. I don't know. However, one thing we know, no Erling Haaland for Manchester City. I was banking on Haaland, FPL captain, to rescue me, but alas, we may have to make some adjustments. I don't expect City to struggle even without Haaland. City -1, probably a lock. I'll go 3-0 Manchester City. Brighton versus Villa next. 2 teams fighting for a Champions League spot. 2 teams in action in the FA Cup. I thought Brighton got extremely unlucky against Forest. I thought they deserved the win. They created a lot of chances. Villa, on the other hand, of course, had a much easier game on paper. Rashford looking good. To be fair, Aston Villa, well, both of these teams are heading into this in pretty decent form, aside from the penalty shootout loss for Brighton. I worry about Villa's away form. I really do. I think these are the type of games where they've capitulated in the past. With Kamara back in the team, they definitely look a lot more solid. But I fancy Brighton in this. I think Brighton will create too many chances and eventually they'll be able to take them. 2-0 Brighton. To Anfield we go. The derby. Liverpool versus Everton. With Arsenal dropping points, I think it'll calm Liverpool heading into this game. The international break came at the perfect time for them. They looked spent. In midfield especially, Gravenberch is a doubt, not sure if he'll start. But like I said, it looked to me like they ran out of energy. David Moyes has done a fantastic job at Everton. Just one league defeat for him in his new spell. However, he has a terrible record at Anfield, which worries me. It was a tough game, this one, because I think Everton can frustrate Liverpool. But it's the Arsenal result that will facilitate this. I closed my eyes as I visualized what will happen. I did see Everton, believe it or not, scoring early. Beto, header, 1-0. Salah equalizes, 1-1. The Anfield crowd is getting nervous. Minute 80. Minute 85. Penalty. Penalty for Liverpool. I don't think it was, but it's been given anyways. 2-1 Liverpool. Chelsea versus Spurs up next. Chelsea have an incredible record against Spurs, especially at Stamford Bridge. Just one win for Spurs in the last gazillion years, it feels like. But I'm worried about Chelsea. I really, really am. In the last games I've seen them, they're looking like that 22-23 version. The goals are drying up. Now people are like, but it's Spurs. Okay, I'll counter. Do a combined 11 between the two teams. Vicario in goal. Reece James right back. Romero, Van den Ven, Udo, or Spence. Probably Spence will play. Look at the three in midfield. I'll give you that for Chelsea. Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer is a doubt. Let's put him in anyways. But then look at the front three. It's all Spurs. Odobert, Son, Solanke. I think Spurs have more in them. I always respect history. But I look at this matchup. I don't see Chelsea's attack causing many problems to Spurs. And we know Spurs will create chances. To be fair, Chelsea have looked defensively much better in recent games. But I think Spurs will beat them. I'm going Chelsea 1, Spurs 2. Upset by many. But I think the bookies have made a horrific mistake with those odds. Horrific mistake. And this is where we capitalize. Over to the cup matches next, where we got some big teams fighting for a treble. Real Madrid versus Sociedad. Real Madrid, it'll be interesting to see if the youngsters can get any minutes. Goller and Endrick, will they play? It is Endrick's goal that is separating the two teams. It's a second leg, remember. I think Madrid simply have too much for Sociedad. Sociedad have been in horrific form. Only one win in the last 7 matches. They lack goals. They know they're going to have to score. As soon as they're going to start coming out, I think Madrid will play them off. To be honest with you, I think it'll be a pretty strong team from Real Madrid. There is good news though for Sociedad and the people wanting Real Madrid to lose. You see, Sociedad have beaten Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in this competition 5 years ago in 2020. It was a thriller, 4-3. The goal scorers for Sociedad, Premtars, you may recognize a few. Isaac with 2, Odegaard, and Mikel Merino. My oh my. 3-1 Real Madrid. To the other one in Spain. Atletico versus Barcelona. Second leg. The first leg was a thriller. 4-4. One of the toughest games, this one, to call. Barcelona, undefeated in 2025. They look unstoppable. Atletico, they were fighting for the treble. They have only one left, is this. Barcelona, we know, have a remarkable record against Atleti, even away. In Spain, they historically own them. In the Champions League is where Atletico have had success against Barcelona. And that could be key because I think they'll turn this into a proper cup game. Atletico at the Metropolitano, second leg. At some point, the fatigue has got to catch up with Barcelona. They've played way too many games. Atleti only have this competition left. I think they'll turn it into a proper slugfest, which will suit them. I think Julian Alvarez will be crucial. I expect Atletico to come out winners. Atleti 2, Barcelona 1. Atleti to go through. Last, but certainly not least, the Milan Derby. First leg, this one. Just like the Copa del Rey, there are no away goals. A big talking point, of course, is somehow we haven't beaten them this year. Inter have struggled a bit in the big games, but we're in a position where we're fighting for the treble. First and foremost, what an honor it is to be in that position. Make no mistake about it, we will cherish this. Inter, we're getting back to our very best. We have to win this. We cannot not beat these guys. They're not on our level. There's a massive discrepancy, especially in midfield between the two teams. I would argue Milan have gotten even worse since January, especially since they've lost Benacer. We will be starting with a very strong team in midfield. I ask you guys, do you trust me? If you do, Milan 1, Inter 2. We're better than them. Yes, there's no Lauti up front, but Arnautovic, believe it or not, is headed into this in fantastic form. And it is his goal, that beautiful goal against Lazio, which is the reason why we're going to be having this game. Trust in the spoiler. I am here to save you guys. I am here to help you guys make some chiching, bibbling. Let's do this.